Hi. How many of you like spending time with your grandparents? I'm sure all of you like spending time with your grandparents, isn't it? But then what is that you like most from them? The interesting thing here is they always tell us stories, isn't it? But then at the end of every story, there is a moral of the story. Alright? So those are the morals that we have learned from our grandparents and we have grown up to this stage in our life. But then the point here is, to convey one simple moral of the story, why explain such a big story? Isn't it? Why waste our time? Just try to think about this. Why explain such a big story, build characters, those emotions, the twists and turns, the thrill and suspense? Why? Because they knew that if something has to be conveyed, when it is conveyed in the form of a story, you will understand it properly. Isn't it? It will get inside your head. And when you understand it thoroughly, you will implement it in your real life. So this is not a new practice now. This has been running from those ancient days. People in those ancient days were so very brilliant that they knew that if something important has to be conveyed, it has to be conveyed in the form of a story. Now, why am I saying all these things? It is because today, the moment you read the topic of this training, how to regain your lost money in stock market. The moment you read this, some of you may be in a hurry to know what is the secret all about. Please tell me the secret. Cut short the story, come to the end. But let me assure you one thing. In this training, each and every bit and the pieces that you are going to listen, the points that we are going to discuss, all these will accumulate to form the final solution. And when we are approaching to the conclusion, towards the conclusion of this training, that's when you get the real solution on how to regain your lost money in stock market. But then, to understand the secret, it's very important for you to understand something about yourself and also something about the stock market. In order to understand this, let me ask you some simple questions here. Okay? Try to think about what could be the answer for this. If possible, there are some worksheets given to you. Make a note of the answers that comes up to your mind. Okay? So the first question here is, how did one enter into stock market? How did you get into stock market? Now, most of the people get into stock market maybe based on your friend's advice, isn't it? Someone must have told you, see, I have made money in stock market, why don't you try? Isn't it? Right? Now, there are many who get inspired by other successful traders like Warren Buffett and all these guys, reading about them, their stories, right? Their stories must have inspired you to get into stock market. There are few who get into stock market just because they are very greedy and they have the urgency to make money. And when you have to make money, there is no better place on this planet than stock market. We know this, isn't it? There are few who get into stock market by reading newspapers, watching media channels, right? These days when you go open a bank account, the people there, they advise you, they give you offers saying that you open a bank account, you get a free demat account. Have you come across these? These days there are a lot of discount brokerage advertisements on the newspapers, on the internet. People go through this and get motivated to get into stock market. There are a lot of advertisements about online trading. You can sit at home and trade. These days you can trade through your mobile. You can buy and sell through your mobile, isn't it? So these advertisements must have motivated you to get into stock market. Now, many of you must have got convinced by the executives working there in the stockbroking companies, isn't it? Even I have worked as an executive in stockbroking company. Now, we were called as the relationship managers. That was our designation. Now, we used to have targets. What is the target? To get new clients every month. 5 clients, 10 clients every month. So what we used to do here is first approach the known circle of people, then their friends, their family. This is the way we get clients. And there are some people who come here for time pass, just for that excitement. Isn't it? Do you agree with this or not? There are many people who come to stock market for time pass. Alright? So The same way there are many people who must have attended free seminars, training programs like this on stock market. Maybe you got inspired or motivated through all these things and you got into stock market. So this is the way you got into stock market. Alright. Now that you know that how you got into stock market, tell me, what is your purpose? What do you want? What do people want from stock market? Why do they enter stock market? What is their purpose? Think about this. A very important question. Please think about this. Now, most of them, they come to stock market to become rich. I want to become rich. You want to become rich, isn't it? That's why we have got into stock market. There are few who want to earn big returns on their savings. You have FDs, you have so many saving venues, right? So if in case you want to earn better returns than all those places, then stock market is the best place. There are few who want to earn a regular monthly income through trading in stock market. So they want to take it as a full-time profession, right? There are few who want to earn money in their leisure time. Maybe you are a working professional. Once you are done with your job, every day when you come back home, you have a lot of leisure time left. So in this leisure time, you want to do some activity or do some trading and earn some extra money, isn't it? There are few who want to invest for long term to meet some, future expected, anticipated expense. Now maybe some of you want to do long term investment for your children's education, maybe for your children's marriage, maybe you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, isn't it? These are all the things why people get into stock market. Now there are some people who want to earn, who come with a lot of financial commitments. In order to fulfill all these commitments, what they do here is they get into stock market and do some trading so that they can fulfill all their commitments as soon as possible. Alright? There are some people who have no skills. They are finding it difficult to find a job. They are finding it difficult to run a business. So they always feel stock market is a very good alternate profession, isn't it? Why? Because there is no education, qualification, your certificates, nothing is required here. All that is required is a PAN card, Aadhaar card, your bank statement and a check leaf, isn't it? Alright? So this is always a very good alternate profession for many. There are few who also come here to earn money for a social cause. So these are all the purpose which people have when they get into stock market. Even you may have some of these purpose for getting into the stock market. Alright? Now when you know what you want from stock market, when you know what is your purpose here, tell me, what actions do you take to fulfill this purpose? What actions do people take to fulfill this purpose? When I talk about actions, normally when you get into stock market, all that you are going to do here is trade, isn't it? Buy and sell. So how are you going to trade? How are you going to make profits to fulfill your purpose? So when this is a question, you will agree with me when I say this, most of them, what they do in the beginning stages, they follow some experienced traders' advice. Isn't it? Based on their advice, people trade. There are few who trade based on intuition, their gut feeling. My sixth sense says that the price is going to go up now. My sixth sense says that the price is going to come down. There is some gut feeling with me which says that the price may not go up. Right? Based on these feelings, people trade. Am I right? So there are some people who approach for portfolio management. It so happens that when we do this program, a direct session, there are many people who think that I am a big expert. After the session, they come and meet me. They say that you are the best guy, you have so much knowledge, I have never come across such a person like you, so talented person like you. And at last they say that, look, I have a lot of money, but then I don't have time. Alright? Why don't we do something? I'll give you money, you trade on my behalf. You don't have to worry about the income. Whatever profit comes, we will share the profits, profit sharing. Isn't it? This is always an easy thing to do. Ask someone else to trade on your behalf. This is what people do. Am I right? There are few who watch media channels right from morning till evening to trade because every 5 minutes there is one or the other expert who comes on the channel. He will guide you what to trade, when to buy, when to sell. isn't it? There are many who these days they follow technical analysis, they practice technical analysis, fundamental analysis. 15-20 years back in our country, not many people knew what is technicals, right? But these days, everyone knows what is technical analysis, isn't it? It is so freely available everywhere. There are so many programs, you get it on the Google search, right? These are all the things people do, right? There are few who browse the internet, read newspaper, right? So based on that, people trade. Majority of them, they trade based on tips and calls. Today, whether you like it or not, you get a SMS on your mobile. What to buy, what to sell, entry price, target, stop loss. Am I right? Every beginner in stock market will go through this process, tips and calls. Experienced traders advise. They will not follow any one. They will follow one by one, everything, one after the other. It is a big cycle. Am I right? There are few who trade based on astrology, numerology. Once I happened to meet a guy and he said, see, in your office, it is very difficult to make profits. I said, you making profit, what does it have to do with my office? And then he said, the computer that you have kept in your office, your trading terminal, it is south facing. So if it is south facing, it is not possible to make profits. It has to be east facing or north facing. So these are all the things people believe in. Am I right? And there are some people who trade based on news, events, quarterly results. They watch all these things and based on that they trade. I am not saying that whether this is right or this is wrong. That's not the point here. But these are all the things people do to fulfill their purpose. Am I right? Isn't it true? All right? But then when you are doing all these things over a period of time, you will start thinking that these days, today I have learned so many things in stock market. I know so many things. Probably I'm a big expert today. But when you start thinking in these lines over a period of time, you will realize that today you are more confused than before. Am I right? You are more confused than before. By the time you realize all these things, by the time you realize that you are confused, by then your capital would have eroded. You would have incurred a major capital loss. So what happens when you incur a loss? Obviously there is a pinch of pain having lost money, but then when people lose money, after a few days they again regain back all their energy and they will always come back, isn't it? They come back with the hope saying that one way or the other I am going to recover back all the losses. But then when they come back for the second time to recover their losses, what are they going to do? How are they going to trade? Yes, they will once again follow the same age-old methods, strategies, isn't it? Maybe earlier they were trading based on tips and calls, now they are trading based on experts' advice. Maybe earlier they were doing fundamental analysis, now they are following technical analysis. Maybe earlier they were doing all positional trading, now they are doing intraday trading. Maybe earlier they used to trade all quality stocks where they incurred losses, now they are getting into penny stocks. Have you observed this? Alright, so this is what people do. But then second time when you do all these things, what is the end result? Obviously the end result is a big minus once again. But then this time it is not just a loss, it is loss plus loss, it is double loss, isn't it? But then gentlemen, there is something which you have not understood, something you have not realized. When you incur a loss, what are those things which is making sure that you will lose again and again? You will keep losing. What are those things? What are those reasons? So when you start thinking in these lines, you will understand. Normally when you incur a loss, along with the loss, you will also start, your health will also start declining. Have you observed this? Your health will decline. When your health starts declining after a period of continuous losses, you will slowly get into depression. This is a very dangerous state, isn't it? And when you get into depression, you will also start developing this failure mindset. It's very difficult to get out of this. What is failure mindset? When people start incurring losses continuously, loss after loss, loss after loss, they start thinking that whatever I do, it is a loss. Whenever I trade, it is a loss. Whatever business I do, it is a loss. I am a failure, you are a failure, you come with me, you will also become a failure. So this is the failure mindset. When you develop this failure mindset, it is very difficult to succeed in your life. And when you are developing this failure mindset, over a period of time, you will also start experiencing a lot of disturbances in your family. Have you experienced this? Right? Disturbances in your family. So this is what happens when you incur losses in stock market. Am I right? So in short, gentlemen, when you lose money in stock market, you're not only losing your money, people also lose their long-standing status. People also lose their reputation. Am I right? Isn't it? This is one major factor which people don't realize. What is that? Along with the loss, the money loss, the financial loss, people also lose their long-standing status. Now when you lose your long-standing status, what happens? Just imagine the first time when you walked into a stockbroking company and when you wanted to open a demat account, your trading account, how did they treat you? They said, sir, please come in, sit here. What do you want? You want a coffee, tea, cool drink? Whatever you want, we are ready to offer. But after you lost money, the second time when you walk into the same stockbroking company, when you walk in through the same door, now how do they treat you? Now they'll look at you and say, all right, you have come again. Fine, come here. But then this time at least, please don't do the same mistakes, trade properly, listen to us. No, look at the tone, look at the approach, how they are treating you, isn't it? Right? In fact, people make fun of you. Now, I've experienced this when I used to work in stockbroking companies. When there is a trader who is continuously losing money, staff working there, they used to make fun of him. Right? This happens, isn't it? Not only the people working in the stockbroking company, people in your home, your wife, your parents, your children, they must be wondering, there is something seriously wrong with this guy. There is something wrong with you. Maybe you have done some big mistake, you are not sharing it with us. These days you have lost your smile on your face. Have you experienced this? You've lost your smile on your face. These days there is any family function, you are not ready to join us. You always want to be alone. You don't want to get disturbed. These days when we crack a joke, you get irritated. This is what they are experiencing with you. If people in your family are experiencing all these things, just imagine the people in your surrounding, what they must be thinking. Isn't it? But then, gentlemen, money can always be regained. That's not the issue. That has never been the issue. How? If you have lost money in stock market, the best thing you can do here is get out of stock market, do some other business, get into some job, earn money, settle all your score here. But then, even if you try to settle all your score doing all these things, you would have regained your money, but then can you regain your lost status? Can you regain your reputation? That is difficult, isn't it? So if you ask me, is there a solution to regain your money as well as your status? Then let me tell you, yes, there is a solution. There is a solution to regain your lost money as well as your long-standing status. But then to do so, will you again follow the same old strategies that you were following? Will you again follow the same methods and the same approach that you had earlier when you lost money in stock market? What are you supposed to do? Do you really think it is possible to regain your lost money in stock market? Now, when you start thinking in these lines, let me also ask you one simple question. What do you know about stock market? What have you learnt about stock market all these years? Now, just take few minutes of your time. Try to recall, what do you know? Whether it is something very basic or something very advanced thing that you have learned, it doesn't matter. Try to recall, what do you know about stock market? What have you learnt all these years? Now, I am serious. Take these few minutes or few seconds at least. Try to recall we've given you a worksheet. If possible, try to make a note. If some of you have an open mind, then it's very good. You can share your experience. You can mail us whatever you know about stock market. Just try to recall, what do you know about stock market? Normally when I ask this question in our training programs, there were many people who stood up and said, see, I know something about stock market, but then I don't know everything. So if you ask me my knowledge, it is 50-50. There are few who say that, boss, I really don't know anything. I am a hardcore beginner, but then I have lost money. That's the reason I have come here to this program. There are few who claim that they know everything, but in reality, they don't know many things. So when this is the case, don't you think there is a serious gap here? Don't you think this gap has to be filled? Don't you think so? So in order to fulfill this gap, you have to learn something very important. You have to learn the right things in stock market. What are the most important things that you have to learn in stock market? That is, you should learn the right way to trade. How to trade. Am I right? You should also learn the light way to trade. Now, what is light way to trade? Isn't it? Some of you may be, surprised. What is this light way to trade? Light way to trade means that whatever trading strategy that you are following, whatever method that you are following, however you trade, make sure that your trading concept is very simple and easy to follow. Today, some of you may be a big expert. You may know all the basics, and you may also have learned a lot of advanced things. See, learning advanced things, anyone can learn. But the point here is, after learning all those advanced subjects, is it possible to implement it in real trading, in practical trading? Do you think it is so easy? Can you implement all those advanced strategies consistently, day after day, mechanically? Is it possible? In many cases, it is not possible. So, as long as your concept is very simple and light, it can be implemented mechanically. When you implement some concept mechanically, that's when you will start seeing results. Am I right? Now, along with this, you should also have the right information, first place. Very important. You should also know what is the right investment. These are some of the very important things that you have to learn in stock market. But then when I talk about the right information, what is right information? Now, normally when you want to trade, what will you do? You will approach some stockbroker, you will open your demat account, trading account. This is what you do. And then you transfer your investment. Once you have transferred your investment, now you want to trade. But then when you want to trade in stock market, there are 3 segments which you can trade. Am I right? One is called as options, futures, and the other one is the equity segment or the cash segment that we call it as. Am I right? So these are the 3 segments that is available for you to trade. But then when you have to trade in any of these 3 segments, you should know something about this. You should have the right information about these 3 segments. Whichever segment you trade, you should have information, knowledge about all these 3 segments. Always remember this. What knowledge am I talking about? Let's take some examples. If you want to trade in option segment, what should you learn? If you want to trade in options, the best thing, the right thing to learn here is about buying a call option or buying a put option. What is buying a call option or how to buy a call option? What is buying a put option or how to buy a put option? When you learn these 2 things, that is more than enough. You are fit to trade in options. You are ready. But then apart from this, if you are learning all those advanced strategies, the gamma, beta, delta, thetas, option writing. No, I personally feel all these things are for the experts. If in case you want to make some serious money in options trading, just buying call option, buying put option, if you learn these 2 things, you are ready. The same way, if you want to trade in futures, what is that you have to know? If you want to trade in futures, you must learn only these few things. What is that? What is a long trade and what is a short trade? If you know these 2 things, you are good to go ahead in futures trading. right? Because someone must have told you, when the market goes up, you can make money. When the market comes down, also you can make money. Am I right? But then when the price declines, how will you make money? You should know this. What is short trade? Why I say this is there are many people in stock market. So even after so many years of experience in stock market, there are many people who still don't know what is short selling. Alright? So in futures, these are the only two things that you have to learn: long trade and short trade. Same way, when it comes to the equity segment, the cash segment, if you want to trade in cash segment, what is that you have to know about it? Cash segment or the equity segment is meant for investment. Either you do long-term investment or short-term investment, but then that segment is actually meant for investment. But the problem here is, I have observed personally, there are many people who do intraday trading in cash segment. Don't you think that's a big mistake? Alright, that segment is meant for investment. So think only about investment when you enter into the equity segment or the cash segment. But then when it comes to investment, obviously you must have a demat account to do investment these days. Am I right? It is always good if you have a demat account with a bank. You know why? The bank will not tempt you every day to do some trade. They will not keep calling you every day to buy this stock, sell this stock. They will not tempt you every day, isn't it? But then maybe a normal stockbroker will do that. Alright? I don't say that everyone does that, but they do. This is how it runs. And at the same time, it's always good if you have a demat account with a bank who does not provide a trading services. And it's good if you have a demat account with a bank, with a public sector bank. So these are some of the basic awareness you must have about stock market when you want to start your business. But then when I say all these things, some of you must be thinking, boss, we know all these things, but then come to the real point. What is that? When to buy, when to sell. Talk something about that. If you're thinking in these lines, then you're absolutely right in thinking so. You know why? The one and only secret that you have to learn in stock market here is when to buy, when to sell. If you know when to buy, when to sell, if you can master this when to buy, when to sell, then you are a winner in stock market. Am I right? But then when to buy, when to sell, even the tips and calls guy will tell you when to buy, when to sell. Even the expert on the media channel, he will tell you when to buy, when to sell. Even the newspaper article would have told you when to buy, when to sell. There's always a solution. But then, following all these things, did anyone make money? Did you make money? See, when I'm talking about making money, I'm not talking about making profits in one or two trades. One or two trades profit, anyone would have done this. Everyone would have done this. Isn't it? When I'm talking about profit, I'm talking about consistent profits, continuous profits. Who's making profit year after year? Month after month. Someone who is able to achieve this consistency in stock market, he is called as the successful trader in stock market. You will become a professional trader in stock market only if you can achieve this consistency. Am I right? But then, following all these tips and calls and all these things, profits will come, but are you able to get that consistency? No, the answer is a big no, isn't it? So, in order to achieve this consistency, what is that you are supposed to learn about when to buy, when to sell? See, when we trade, what are we trading on? We are trading on the price of some stock or some commodity or some index or some currency or options. We are trading on the price. And when you are trading on the price, you must always know that the price has some peculiar behavior patterns. There are different characteristics of price. You must learn to trade in all these, different situations of price. What are they? Let me show you. Now, when it comes to deciding when to buy, when to sell, tell me, how will you trade? When will you buy? When will you sell? When there is a sudden crash in the price? When will you buy? When will you sell? Haven't you come across these situations? Whenever there is a big crash in the price, the newspaper article says bloodbath in Dalal Street. Am I right? I don't see one good reason why there should be a bloodbath in Dalal Street whenever there is a crash in the price. First of all, Price never crashes. There is nothing called as crash. Price never crashes. Price only declined. Price increases, decreases, increases, decreases. This is how the price moves. That is a characteristic of the price. But then what crashed? Maybe you crashed. People crash. Emotionally they crashed. Their bank balance crashed. This is what crashed. Price never crashed. Alright? So when people say market crashed, that shows their immatureness about stock market. Alright? How will you trade these situations? When will you buy? When will you sell? Now when I say whenever there is a crash in the price, whenever the price declines sharply, if you have to make money, what are you supposed to do? The right thing to do here is, you have to take a short position. You have to sell before the decline. Am I right? If you sell after the crash, then what is the point? You must sell before the decline. Am I right? But then when I say this, you must be thinking, how will I know that the price is going to come down? Isn't it? Alright? But then forget about all these things. Just come back and understand one reality. When the price is coming down, in stock market, someone loses money, someone makes money. Am I right? If you made money, it means someone else has lost money. If you lost money, it means someone else has made money. Am I right? So when there is a big crash, as people call it, when there is a big market crash, if people are losing money, then who is making money? Have you ever thought about this? Someone must have made money. If someone has made money when there is a big decline, sudden decline in the price, how did they make money? They must have sold before the decline. That's how they must have made money. This is what you are supposed to learn. When to buy, when to sell. Not only a crash. Tell me, how will you trade when there is a big rally in the price? And the price continuously keeps on going up, big uptrend. There is a there is an old saying where they say that when the market is bullish, everyone makes money. But then when the market is bearish, everyone loses money. And that was an old saying. But these days, when the market is continuously in an uptrend, even there people are losing money. Am I right? How will you trade? This is what you are supposed to learn. But then, uptrend and downtrend, these are not the only two situations in the market. There are many more. Which are they? Tell me, how will you trade when there is a big gap up, gap down? 15-20 years back, this gap up, gap down used to be a very rare phenomenon. But then today, every alternate day there is a gap up or gap down. How will you trade? If you want to make money during in this situation, what are you supposed to do? When are you supposed to buy? When are you supposed to sell? This is what you are supposed to learn. Alright? Not only gap up and gap down. Tell me, how will you trade when there is a false price breakout? What is false price breakout? Take an example of some stock whose price is continuously trading flat for a big period of time. Maybe for many days or many weeks or many months. It is trading in a small range. All of a sudden one day it shoots up. All of a sudden when the price shoots up, then what will happen? What will the public think? Who's watching the price? Who's tracking this stock in particular? What will they do? They will jump and buy the stock. But then as soon as they buy, from there the price slowly starts declining. So can I say that this sudden sharp jump in the price was a false movement? So how will you trade in this situation? How will you identify this false movement? How will you stay out of this false movement? Or how will you make money when there is a false price breakout? Have you ever thought about this? Right? Not only this, there is one more, the most complicated situation of all. How will you trade when the price is moving flat? Normally, many people call it as sideways move. Right? Sideways market. How will you trade in a sideways market? Right? This is the most difficult situation in the entire market. Right? One day the price is up, the next day it is down, up, down, up, down. How will you trade? Have you come across a situation when you were trading, you're continuously incurring losses, one after the other. Each and every trade is a loss. Over a period, at some point you must have, one thought would have come to your mind saying that whenever I buy, the price goes down. Whenever I sell, the price goes up. Has this thought come to your mind? If that thought has come to your mind, then it means that situation which you are trading in, that is a sideways market. Right? So how will you trade in all these situations? When to buy, when to sell in all these situations? Gentlemen, let me tell you one thing. If you want to achieve consistency in making profits, if you want to make some serious profits in stock market, you have to learn how to trade, when to buy and when to sell in all these situations, not just one. When you can successfully trade in all these situations, that is when you can make consistent profits in stock market. Right? So today, whatever strategy, whatever method, whatever concept that you are following, follow it, that's not a problem, but then try to find answers for all these questions. Is your method, is your strategy, or does your strategy have a solution for all these situations? Are you able to make money in all these situations? If not, then start doing some research, try to learn that secret which can help you make money in all these situations. But now I am not talking about trading in cash segment. As I told you, cash segment is meant for investment. Today you have to decide whether you want to do long-term investment to regain your lost money in stock market, or whether you want to trade and make money in stock market. But then whichever type of trading that you want to do, there is some logic that you have to understand. What is that logic? Many people say that in stock market, especially the F&O segment is very dangerous. The futures and options is very dangerous. Cash segment is always safe. But let me tell you the real logic behind all these things. Let's assume there is some XYZ stock which you want to trade in cash segment. The price of, if you want to buy 100 rupees worth of stock in cash segment, what is the investment required? You have to invest the complete 100 rupees, am I right? Right? So investment is complete, 100% investment is required to buy a 100 rupees worth of stock in cash segment. Now once you have invested that money, what is the risk involved in the trade? A stock price can become zero, isn't it? So the risk is also 100% in cash segment, right? 100% capital plus 100% risk. The same way, the same stock, if you want to trade it in future segment, if you want to buy 100 rupees worth of stock in future segment, what is the capital required? In future segment, you don't have to invest the complete 100 rupees, no. You may have to invest some margin, some percentage of that complete value, maybe 10%, 15%, 20%. So if you are planning to trade 100 rupees worth stock in future segment, maybe you are investing only 10 rupees there, the remaining 90 rupees is there in your pocket. Am I right? So what is the risk involved in this trade here? That 10 rupees is your risk. Remaining 90 rupees is safe. Right? But then in futures trading, what people do here is, every day they do 10 trades, 20 trades, buy, sell, do intraday trading left and right. If you do all these things, then any segment is dangerous for you, isn't it? Just understand the logic here first. So in future segment, you're investing only 10 rupees, remaining 90 rupees is with you, and the risk is only 10 rupees there. The same stock, if you wanted to trade in options segment, what is the capital required there? There the investment is just 1 rupee and the remaining 99 rupees is back in your pocket. So what is the risk involved? Just 1 rupee is the risk involved in the trade. Now you tell me which segment is much more safer than, the most safest, isn't it? So understanding the right logic is very, very important. But in spite of understanding all these things, in spite of learning when to buy, when to sell, if you come to stock market to play around, then even God will not help you. Remember this. Alright? Playing. Stock market is not a playground. Alright? Today you tell me, how many of your family support you to trade in stock market? Very few. Not many. Majority of them, they don't support you. Isn't it? Why? Because they think that stock market is gambling. Even you think that this is gambling. Isn't it? Right? But do you think it is their mistake that they are thinking that this is gambling? Is that their mistake? No, it is not their mistake. Maybe it was your mistake. Why? Because normally when you talk about trading or stock market, the kind of language, the words that you use, I happened to meet a trader, and once I asked him, which is that stock you like to trade the most? And he said, normally I like playing in Nifty. Some days I play in Bank Nifty. Some days I like to play in gold, but then Nifty is one thing which I like to play. As if this is playground, isn't it? As long as you play, you will be played around. Alright, gentlemen, this is not a playground. Stock market is not gambling. Stock market is a true business like any other business on this planet. The only problem here is you have to treat it as a business. Isn't it? Just try to, recall. If you had to become a doctor, if you had to become an engineer, if you had to become a lawyer or a judge or an IAS officer, whatever, any profession, what was required? Dedication, effort, right? These were the things that was required. But then you are ready to give all the dedication and put all the efforts there to become a doctor, to become an engineer. But then when it comes to stock market, why not? Isn't it, gentlemen? In order to make money in stock market, even here you have to show the same dedication, put the same efforts. Without efforts, there will be no results here. There is really no shortcut to success in stock market. Not only in stock market, let it be any other business, there is no shortcut to success. So, what is the solution? How to regain all your lost money in stock market? So, if you ask me, let me tell you, the first solution here is the process of change. The process of change from your old habits to the new ones is the first step, first solution towards regaining your lost money. And secondly, will you agree with me when I say that every profession has a procedure? Do you agree with me? Same way, every religion has a ritual, and every success has a discipline. Do you agree with all these things? So gentlemen, the same way, in order to achieve success in stock market, you need these three pillars. What is that? A procedure, a ritual, and a discipline. When you have these three things in place, then you will also become a successful trader. You will also make money in stock market. So today, can't we design a procedure? Can't we design a ritual? Can't we follow some discipline to regain all your lost money? Now discipline, when I say discipline, there are many books, many experts who say you must be a disciplined trader, but then nobody says what is discipline, isn't it? But then today we will discuss, we will see what are all the discipline you must follow to become a successful trader. Can we do that? But in order to do all these things, in order to achieve your destiny to become a successful trader, in order to regain your lost money in stock market, first thing that you have to do here is you have to start thinking like a swan. Yes, you have to start thinking like a swan. In our local language, we call this as Hamsa Pakshi. Hamsa Pakshi. There is a very old saying. This swan has a big reputation saying that it can filter milk from water and drink only the milk. Right? It can separate milk and water. Right? That is a speciality. It's a very old saying. So the name swan is used as a motivation in many stories, isn't it? So the same way, you must start thinking like a swan. You must know what is right and what is wrong. You have to pick all the right things from the wrong. You should always be very practical and take the practical, most right decisions every time. You should identify the right entries and the right exits. When you do all these things, that's when you can achieve success in trading. So ladies and gentlemen, start thinking like a swan. Be practical. Don't always live in a dream world. You know why I say this? Because most of them in stock market always live in a dream world. They never think practical. What is possible? What has to be done? How to reach your goal? How to fulfill your requirements? Alright? So start thinking like a swan. Now, when it comes to regaining all your lost money in stock market, normally there are 4 different categories of people who are trying to regain their lost money in stock market. Now when we are discussing about these 4 categories, I want you to focus more, and I want you to relate yourself, try to identify yourself in this 4 category. Which category do you belong? Because a solution to you may not be the right solution for someone else. A solution to him may not be the right solution for you, isn't it? So identify yourself among these 4 categories, and each category will have a different solution. Got it? So let's go through these 4 categories. The first category here is, these are the people who have lot of money. Abundance, money in abundance, right? They are not, they really don't have too much pain of having lost money in stock market. They are always ready to take one decision, effortless decision, to stop trading in stock market and get along with their regular life. Enjoy the money that they already have. Right? But then there is always a pinch somewhere deep down the corner saying that I lost money in stock market. So if you belong to this category and if you want to regain your losses in stock market, what is the solution? So the solution here is, it is best that you always do long-term investment. Get into the equity segment or the cash segment, do only long-term investment. And when you are doing long-term investment, remember, select the A group stocks. Don't invest your money in penny stocks. Select the quality stocks and invest there. Right? And when you are selecting stock, don't invest all your money in a single stock. Diversify your capital. Split your capital into multiple stocks. Invest. When you invest all your money in a single stock, then what will happen? And later you will start observing the price movement day after day. When the price goes up, price comes down. When you look at the price fluctuation, over a period of time you will panic. Initially you would have invested your money saying that I am investing for long term, but then you wouldn't have stayed invested for even a month. Isn't it? Right? So diversify your investment. When you diversify, then what will happen? You will get a balance. You will not panic. Right? Invest in A group stocks. But then when I say A group stocks, there are some people who say Satyam was also A group stock. Satyam Computers, if you remember, right? What happened there? From almost 400, 500 rupees, the price came down to what? 10 rupees, 6 rupees. That was also A group stock. It was a Fortune 100 company those days. Nobody knew that there is such a big scam. All of a sudden, one day the scam was announced, gone. Isn't it? If that is the case, if you have this question in your mind, then don't invest in stocks. Invest on the index. When I say invest on the index, some of you may be thinking, index is only available to trade in futures and options. It is not there in cash segment. But if you want to invest on index for a long term, there is something called as ETF, Exchange Traded Fund. There is a ETF on index. There is one ETF called as Nifty Bees. That's a ETF on Nifty. There is a ETF on bank, called as Bank Bees, Gold Bees. There are so many ETFs, isn't it? You can invest on index. Index price will not become zero like a stock, isn't it? Will it become zero? If an index price comes down so drastically down, then what does it mean? It means the country's economy has gone to dogs, isn't it? That will not happen. Our economy is not so weak, right? We have strong foundations, right? So for that reason, invest on index. But then when you are investing, make sure you don't invest at the peak. When the price of an index or a stock is at its peak, don't invest at the peak. If not at the peak, now first thing you will ask, how will I know that this is the peak? See, when the price is continuously going up, don't go and buy it at the peak. Wait for an opportunity. So which is the right time to start investing? First thing, pick a quality stock or an index, and when the price of the stock or the index, when the price declines by 20 to 30% from the peak, 20 to 30% from the peak. That is where you can start investing. Alright? So these are some of the small tricks that you have to keep in mind when you are doing long-term investment. But then remember, if you are in this category, why did I suggest you to do only long-term investment? The reason here is you have enough money. You are not in a hurry to regain. When you are not in a hurry to regain, follow some strategy or trade in stock market in a way where you can trade in a very relaxed manner. As long as you are trading in a relaxed manner, remember, you will make profits. When you are not relaxed, that's when you will lose money in stock market. Got it? So this is the first category. Now let us go to the second category of people. Now the second category of people are those who have lost money in stock market, but then they have some other income source which can cover up for these losses. They are not in a hurry to regain. They have a choice today to decide whether to continue trading and regain the lost money or whether to quit trading and get along with their regular life. They have a choice. But then the loss is big enough and it is very difficult to forget this loss. They have an income source to cover up this loss. But the only thing here is maybe whatever money that you have lost here, maybe it may take some 4-5 years to cover up for all these losses. But then you still have a choice. That's very important. So if you belong to this category, then what is the solution? So the solution here is, you can also do the same long-term investment. Invest in the A group stocks or the ETFs. Diversify your portfolio. Do the same strategy that I explained for the first category. But then, if you want to regain a bit faster than the first category, then what can you do? The one small change that you have to do here is, do the same long-term investment, but not in cash segment, do it in future segment. Invest for long-term in future segment. How? How will you be able to regain your money a bit faster than the cash segment here? Let me explain. Let's assume that there is a XYZ company whose stock, whose price is trading at 100 rupees per share. Got it? Now, you want to buy some 1000 shares in equity segment. So, how much money are you supposed to invest? 100 into 1000, 1 lakh rupees is your investment, isn't it? You have to invest complete 1 lakh there, isn't it? Now, let's assume you invested 1 lakh, bought 1000 shares at 100 rupees. Over a period of time, maybe after a few months or maybe after a year, the price of the stock from 100 rupees has now appreciated to 200 rupees. So how much profit did you make? On a lakh rupees investment, you made a lakh rupees profit, isn't it? So on your investment, you made 100% returns on your capital. Isn't it true? All right. Now let us take the same stock and consider it in future segment now. The same stock which is trading at 100 rupees, I want to trade 1000 shares, but then the value here is 1 lakh. I don't have to invest the complete 1 lakh here. Alright? The exchange says there is something called as margin requirement. You just have to fulfill the margin, you don't have to pay the full money, and you can buy the stock and hold. But then that margin requirement is for exchange safety, not for your safety. Isn't it? In order to make sure that your capital is safe, you have to do something more. If the value of the stock is 1 lakh, and if you are investing in that stock in future segment, then don't invest the full capital. Don't invest only the margin required as per the exchange. Invest at least 50% of the capital. Keep 50% of the value, stock value as your capital, and buy that stock. There are some stock whose exchange margin requirement itself is 15-20%. In such a case, push your capital to 60-70%. Keep that as your capital. Buy and hold. And when you do that, let us take this example. 1 lakh is the value. I invested only 50,000. Bought 1000 shares at 100 rupees. From 100 rupees over a period of time, maybe after a few months or maybe after a year, the price has gone up to 200. 100 rupees appreciation in the price, 1000 shares. 1 lakh rupees is the profit made. Am I right? But then on your capital, you invested only 50,000 here. On 50,000, 1 lakh rupees profit is made. So what does it mean? It means on your capital, you were able to make 200% returns. In the earlier case, it was only 100% return. Now it is 200% returns, isn't it? But then one thing you have to remember, you're trading in futures, and futures are all contract based, and every contract has an expiry date. So when you buy some stock and when you are approaching the expiry date, on the expiry date, please make sure that you roll over to the next contract. Roll over your position to the next contract. And the other big benefit of trading for long term in future segment here is, when the price is appreciating, you can buy it at a lower level and stay invested for a long term and sell it at a higher price. And at the same time, when the price starts declining, if you are able to identify the downtrend in the price, then what you can do here is, you can take short position at a higher price, hold your short position for a few months or a year, and once the price declines to a good lower level, you can book your profits, you can buy it at the lower level, finish the trade. So what I am trying to do is tell you here is, when you do long-term investment in cash segment, you can make profits only when there is an uptrend in the price. But when you do long-term investment in future segment, you can make profits even in an uptrending market and even in a downtrending market. So both the direction you will be able to make profits. So you will be able to make profits much faster than that of the equity segment. So this is one solution based on which you can regain your money a bit faster. Alright? Now let us move to the third category. Now before we move to the third category, let us have a small break here. But then why this break? It is because whenever you are sitting in a training, whenever you are trading, whenever you are doing some job, what happens is, many people, they forget to breathe. Obviously you will be breathing, but then that's not the right way to breathe. Alright? So let us take a small break. In this break, take a deep breath. Alright? When I say take a deep breath, take it to the fullest as possible. And then release it slowly. And do it at least 5 times or 10 times. Every day do it at least 10 times, once in a day. Sometimes when you practice it, you can do it up to 50 times, 100 times. The more you do it, what will happen? You will be able to focus. You will be able to concentrate. Your health will be in very good shape, isn't it? Right? So utilize this break. In the meantime, if you are sitting all this while, what you can do? You can stand up, do some stretching, and then have a sip of water, and then we'll come back. Welcome back. Now let's move to the third category as we discussed earlier. Now this third category of people are those who have limited financial backup. They've lost big money in stock market. Now they cannot take a chance here, and they have the urgency to regain their lost money in stock market. But then there's one more reality these people have to face, and that is they have to balance their life. Maybe people, I'll give you one example who belong to this category. Maybe you are a working professional, you have lost money, right? With your current source of income, you are able to manage the show. But then maybe you had saved a lot of money all these years. Now all these savings you invested in stock market and you lost everything. Now the moment this happens, now you are in urgency to regain all your lost money. But at the same time, you should also continue your work. You have to maintain your current source of income, isn't it? But then people who belong to this category, they always do one big mistake. And what is that? As soon as they incur big losses, and with that urgency to regain all their lost money, the first thing what they do here is they quit their job and they get into full-time trading. Now if you are doing this, if you did this, that is the biggest mistake that you can ever do. Remember, your current source of income was your only source. That was the source which was giving you the food and shelter. Alright? If you cut that source of income and get into full-time trading where you have not made money at all, you have lost money all these days, this is not practical at all, isn't it? So never do this mistake. Always remember, if you are in this situation today, continue your current source, current job. In fact, you have to focus more, put more efforts to continue your job. If in case your salary was, let us say, 30,000 rupees per month all these years, now you have to put more hard work here. If possible, try to increase your salary from 30 to 35 or to 40, right? Put more efforts, focus more on your current source of income and spend little time every day in order to regain your lost money as well. Remember, if you belong to this category, you cannot take a chance, right? So if you are in this category, then what is the solution now? Now you can also do the same long-term investment in cash segment. You can also do the same long-term investment in future segment. Remember, the difference here is when you do long-term investment in future segment, the capital requirement is less, the risk is less, the profit potential is more compared to that of the cash segment. Am I right? But then, if in case you want to regain a bit faster than these two other categories, then what are you supposed to do? Try to find some method, some strategy, wherein by spending very little time every day, without having to monitor the price movement continuously throughout the day, you should be able to trade and make profits. So try to identify any such strategy which can fulfill this requirement. Now we also trade in stock market. We are also following one such similar strategy for our trading to make profits. Let me explain this strategy, how we are trading, how we are able to make profits, and how simple this is. Without having to monitor the price movement day after day, we are able to make profits here. Let me explain you this strategy. One simple example. Now in this strategy, we make use of our own enterprise platform, a tool that we have designed for ourselves. We call this as dynamic system. Now in this dynamic system, there is a report which we get, and we call this report as daily detailed dynamic report. Now as you can see, this is the daily detailed dynamic report, and in this report, as you can see, there are 4 different ranges: range 1, range 2, range 3 and range 4. Range 1, corresponding to range 1, there is a buy above, and this buy above has a value. It means tomorrow if the price crosses above this number, you can buy. The same way, range 2, corresponding to range 2, there is a sell below and it has a value. It means tomorrow if the price goes below this number, you can sell. Similarly, there is range 3, corresponding to that there is a buy above, and range 4, there is a sell below. So these are the 4 ranges: buy above, sell below, buy above and sell below. All that you have to do here is note down these 4 numbers. Every day, note down these 4 numbers. Once you have noted down these 4 numbers, now there is a procedure how to use these numbers, how to trade using these numbers. The procedure is already defined, and let us see what is the procedure. Long routine. It means if you have to take a long position, how to trade? Entry rule: buy once the price crosses range 1 buy above value. Now whenever the price crosses the range 1 buy above value during the market, then you are supposed to buy. Now how will you do this? Now let's assume today I am going through this detailed report. I have this range 1, range 2, range 3, range 4. I will note down these 4 numbers. Right? Once I have noted down, I will write an instruction beside this saying that tomorrow if price crosses range 1, whatever is the number, I will buy. Once you have noted down, all that you have to do here is next day morning before the market opens, call your stockbroker, give them an instruction saying that if the price crosses this number today, buy in my account. They will do that. They will place the order. They will buy it for you. Right? Now once you have given this instruction to them, they will take care of the trade. But then once the instruction is given, from morning 9:15 to 3:30, what is your job? Will you sit and monitor the price throughout the day, 9:15 to 3:30? Is this what you are going to do? Remember, from 9:15 to 3:30, do some other job. If you don't have any other job, go to sleep. If you're not getting sleep, go sit in a movie theater, spend time with your family, do whatever you want, but then don't sit in front of trading terminal. Don't watch the price movement. If you do that, you will not be able to follow any strategy to trade. Got it? So keep this point in your mind. Alright? So how to take an entry? If price crosses range 1 by above, buy. But then when you are buying, you should also know how to exit this. Isn't it? Whenever you get into a trade, you should always know how to exit from the trade. Without having an exit plan, if you get into a trade, very soon you will be lost. In order to exit from a trade, there is a rule for that also. How to exit? After taking a long position, if the price comes below range 4, sell below value, then exit your trade. You understood this? We are using only two numbers, that is range 1 and range 4. If the price crosses above range 1, you will buy, and after you buy, if the price comes below range 4, you will exit. Same way, if you have to take a short position, how to trade? The rule says, once the price goes below range 4, sell below value, take a short position. After you take a short position, there are only two things that can happen. The price can either go down or it can go up. If the price goes down, you are in profit, very good. But if the price goes up, you are in minus, right? So you must have a plan for it. So once you take a short position, if the price goes up and crosses range 1 by above value, then exit your position. So all that we are doing here is we are using only two numbers, that is the range 1 and range 4, isn't it? Right? Range 1 for long entry and range 4 for exit. Similarly, range 4 for short entry and range 1 for exit. Alright? So you must be wondering now, if I enter at range 1 and exit at range 4, it is a minus. Then what is the point? Let me explain you how this works. Let's take an example. Some XYZ company stock whose price is trading at, let's say, 98 rupees per share. Alright? And when I go through this detailed report, now I see that the range 1 buy above is 100 rupees, range 4 sell below is 90 rupees. So next day morning I'll call my stockbroker, I'll give him an instruction, boss, if the price crosses above 100, buy the stock for me. He will do that. So let's assume during the day the price crossed, it was trading at 101, and that guy, he bought for me in my account. Now once it is bought at 101, now how will I exit? If the price comes to range 4, I will exit. Range 4 is at 90 rupees. So entire day the price was around 101, 102, 100, 99, 101, and it settled at 101. The market closed at 101. It did not come to 90 rupees. So what will you do now? Will you exit the trade? No. The rule says only if it comes to 90 rupees you are supposed to exit. But the price did not come to 90. So we will hold the position. So when you hold your position and when you carry it forward for the next day, these ranges, the range 1, range 2, range 3, range 4, those numbers will change for the next day. Every day these values will keep changing. So my exit point is range 4, but then the new range 4 value now is 94. Yesterday it was 90, now it is 94. So now my new exit point is 94. So I'll again call him next day, I'll tell him today if it comes to 94, exit my trade. Again the second day it did not come to 94. Third day, the range 4 value has moved up to 97. So day after day until it comes to range 4, this number will keep changing. It will keep increasing. One day this range 4 number will come close to your entry price. Once it has come close to your entry price, it means now you are at break even. Even if it crosses range 4, even if you exit there, you are at break even now. Isn't it? Someday the price, the range 4 number crosses beyond your entry price. That's where your profit starts becoming secure. You are able to secure some profit at least. Right? So this is the way this concept works. Until it comes down till range 4, you are not going to exit the trade. Right? But then within this rule, if I add one more point, then what will happen? You will be able to enhance your profit, increase your profit. How to do this? In the same dynamic system, along with this report, you will also get a chart. Can you see this chart? In this chart, can you see there are 3 different lines? One is a black line, the other one is a green line, and the third one is a purple line. These 3 lines, we call them as trends. One is called as the speed trend, the other one is a mid trend, the third one is the long trend. But then forget about the name, just remember that these 3 lines are trends. Now how do you understand this? Now as long as the price is below all these 3 trend lines, it means the price is in downtrend. Now when the price is trading above all these 3 trends, it means the price is in uptrend. So now at least you will be able to identify when the price is in downtrend, when the price is in uptrend. But then take this example. The price from a peak started coming down, started declining, continuously the price started coming down. From the bottom, the price slowly started recovering back, it started recovering. Now when it starts to recover, as it starts going up, at some point it will come close to the line, some line, the green line or the purple line, it will come close to the line. Once the price comes close to the line, now the price has to decide whether to close above the line and start going upward, or stay below the line and decline back, isn't it? So whenever the price comes and touches any of these 3 lines, we call these points as edge points, or the trend edge points, or we also call it as dynamic system caution points. Whenever price reaches a caution point, it means be careful. Now let me give you an example. When the price started recovering from the bottom, someday it would have crossed the range 1 buy above value. Now once it crosses range 1 buy above value, you are going to buy. Now after you buy, how will you exit? Range 4 is your exit point. Am I right? But when you have range 4 as the exit point, the price continuously kept on moving up, kept on moving up. One day the price reached the trend edge point. It is touching the trend. When the price is touching the trend, as I told you, be careful. Just imagine you have bought some stock, the price has moved up, you are sitting on a handsome profit. Now someone tells you that, boss, be careful. Now what will you think? What will you do? The first thing that you will do here is book the profit, isn't it? Exit the trade, book the profit and relax, isn't it? So the same way, what we do here is, after we take an entry, either a long trade or a short trade, once the price reaches any of the trend edge point, there, in order to exit fast, we will use the remaining 2 ranges, that is a range 2 and range 3, to exit fast. This is all that we do. We are using only 4 ranges, range 1, range 2, range 3 and range 4. Range 1, range 4 are the main entry and exit points, isn't it? Where are we using range 2 and range 3? We are using these 2 ranges only when the price reaches any trend edge point. Alright? Let me show you a small example here. One thing you have to remember, this is a short-term trading plan. So the investment required is much lesser compared to the previous 2 categories. Since the investment requirement itself is less, the risk is also less. The profit potential is more. But then when you are implementing this strategy, you will come across this one situation. What is that? Whenever you are trading, in each and every trade, you will come across these kind of results. What is that? Gain, gain, minus, minus, gain, minus, 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 gain, gain. Remember, every trade will not be a profit trade. You will see profits, you will also see minus. But then when I say this, many of you will panic and say that, boss, if there is a minus trade, then how will I follow this strategy? Most of them, they will panic and they will stop and they will jump to some other new strategy. But then try to remember this thing. if you have lost money in stock market, after this session, after observing this video, do a small observation in your past trading. Take down all your trading details from beginning till date. Try to note down all your trades. Entry, exit, entry, exit. When you're noting down all these trades, you will come across one very serious observation. You know what is that? Whenever you made profits, your profits were small. Whenever you lost money, your losses are big. Isn't it? So as long as this is happening in your trading, you will never make profits in stock market. If you want to make profits in stock market, all that you have to do here is reverse this. What is that? Reduce the minus and increase the profits. As long as you do this, when you achieve this, that's when you will start seeing profits in stock market. That is what we have tried to achieve in this concept, the method that I explained. So even if there are minus, the minus will be small. When there is a gain, the gains are big. Remember, stock market trading is a true business. Right? Like any other business. If you had to do any other business, let's assume you had to open a restaurant. Will you keep getting profits, only profits there? Don't you think there is expense there? You have to pay the rent, you have to pay the salary, you have to buy the raw materials. Isn't it? The electricity bill, everything. These are all the expenses. Do you think without these expenses you will be able to make profits through that business? No, it is not possible. These are all the fixed expenses. Only when you incur these expenses you will be able to make profits. Isn't it? The same way, even in stock market there is expense and income, gain and minus. Alright? You have to understand this reality. But then one truth that you have to always remember here is reduce the minus and increase the profit. When you are able to achieve this, that's when you will get success. But then remember, there is a trick of a trade in this process. What is the trick? The trick here is you have to implement this strategy or one similar strategy continuously for a long period, at least for 1 year duration. When you continuously implement, mechanically when you implement it for a long duration, that's when you will start seeing results. Got it? So these are the benefits of this concept. You can follow any other strategy in similar lines, but then remember, if you are in this category, you cannot take a chance. You cannot take a chance. When you have a concept in place, when you have the belief on this concept, when you implement this concept for a continuous period, that's when you will get results and you will be able to regain your lost money. Got it? Now let us move on to the fourth category. Now this fourth category of people, now whenever I explain this category, majority of people relate themselves with this category here. So what is so special? This fourth category of people are those who have lost money beyond their capacity. Maybe you have lost money, maybe you have borrowed some money, invested and lost it. Maybe you have traded on someone else's capital and lost it. In both these cases, you are experiencing huge amount of stress, mental pressure, and with this you have, you are absolutely in dire straits to regain all your lost money in stock market. The urgency. Right? So if you are in this category, what is the solution? If you are in this category, the solution here is you cannot regain your lost money. It is not possible. It is close to impossible to regain all your lost money. The best thing that you can do here is get out of stock market, do some other business, do some other job, earn some money there to settle your score. Right? Once everything is settled, once all your debt is cleared, then you can think about coming back to stock market. But then there are some people who say that no, I have to stick on to this and regain all my money here itself. If that is the case, then you must take a tough approach in your life. You must take a tough approach to your life by doing regular exercise to keep yourself fit. Now when I say you have lost money and to regain, first keep yourself fit. Now many of you will laugh at me, isn't it? Some of them will feel like, throwing a stone at me. But then gentlemen, this is the reality. If you want to regain all your lost money, and if you are in this category, the first thing that you are supposed to do here is keep yourself fit. Long back, a wise man once said, health is wealth. And that is absolutely true. If you cannot maintain your health, then you cannot accumulate wealth. Got it? So you have to keep yourself fit. Start doing some meditation. Please change your food habits to maintain your health. Start doing meditations, regular meditations. When you are able to do meditations, then what will happen? You'll be able to focus, concentrate. When you do all these things over a period of time, then what will happen? Slowly you'll be able to bring your mindset to the neutral level. And when your mindset comes to the neutral level, then you'll automatically find a solution for yourself. Got it? So this is the solution for this fourth category of people. But then we've been doing a lot of seminars and workshops for more than a decade. And in all these programs, we have come across one more category, different from all other four categories. And we call this as the fifth category of people. What is so special about this category here? The people in this category are absolutely brilliant. They have all the patience in this world. They have amazing ability to listen, right? To become a successful person, first you must be a good listener, isn't it? They have all the patience in this world to listen. They have all the, the patience and the learning, understanding capacity to learn and understand any profession, any business for that matter. But they have one weakness. And what is that weakness? Financial weakness. They don't have money. I am talking about all those economically weaker section. I'm talking about, students, those unemployed people who are striving today to do something, to achieve something big in their life. But wherever they go, whichever business they want to start, everywhere money is required. Even if they want to get into stock market, someone must have told them, you must at least invest some big money to make money here. Isn't it? So what we did here is, we wanted to find a solution for this category. So what we did, we started doing some research. After so many months and months of research, we came up with a solution. And we call this solution as the 1K, 10K technique. What is this concept all about? What is this technique all about? In this concept, all that you are supposed to do here is start with an investment of just 10,000 rupees. I am sure even if you are a college student, you will be able to invest 10,000 rupees. Even if you can save your pocket money for a few months, you will be able to accumulate 10,000 rupees and invest. Isn't it? With a small investment as 10,000 rupees, you can start trading. But then, will you invest this 10,000 in cash segment to make money? You can, but then it will take some ages for you to make money. Isn't it? But with 10,000, can you get into future segment? No. The requirement there is a bit higher. With 10,000 rupees, can you get into option segment? Yes, you can. Isn't it? So, option segment is the best place where you can get in with this small capital. But then when you get into option segment, as I told you earlier, there are two things that you have to learn. What is that? One is buying a call option or buying a put option. And along with this, you should also learn how to select strike price, how to select the right strike price. When you learn how to select the right strike price, that is when you will start making money in stock market. Now, along with selecting the right strike price, you should also learn how to prepare your trading plan for next day. If you are planning to trade tomorrow, if you want to trade tomorrow, you must have a plan today itself. Right? We normally call it as next trading action plan, next action plan, NAP. Only when you have a plan in place, you will be able to trade successfully. But then when I am saying all these things, there are many of you may be thinking, is it really possible to make profits with such a small capital? If that is the case, let me show you a small example here. Now, this is Bank Nifty, and in this Bank Nifty, can you see there? On 30th August 2018, we are looking at a put option, 27,000 strike price put option. The premium was somewhere around 73, it closed at 79 rupees. Let's assume the closing price is 80 rupees. One lot of Bank Nifty is 20 shares, isn't it? So if you buy one lot of Bank Nifty at 80 rupees premium, what kind of capital are we talking about? How much investment is required? 80 into 20, it is around 1600 rupees, isn't it? Even if we go out with friends for a small chit chat to a coffee day, we end up spending 1000-2000 rupees, right? Let's assume you have spent this 1600 rupees for some good cause and you've bought this put option here, bought it at 80 rupees. From 30th August, observe what has happened to this put option. From there, after a few days, by around 26th September, the same premium from 80 rupees has moved up to 2000 rupees. And at the settlement, 27th September, the price has settled at 1958. So 80 rupees premium has moved up to 2000 rupees. Even if you bought it at 80 rupees and sold it somewhere at 1900, we are talking about huge profits, isn't it? 1600 rupees would have become, you would have gained close to 30,000 rupees on this trade. Am I right? All right. Now, I am not asking whether you did this trade or not, but at least will you agree with me when I say someone has done this trade? Someone has bought it at a lower level and sold it at a higher price. Someone has made huge profits during this period. If someone is able to make so much profit, then why not you? Not only index. Let us take this stock. This is S Bank. The same period, around 30th August, this S Bank put option premium was trading around 1 rupee 50 paise low made. And from there, in the next few days, by 25th, 26th, the same premium has moved up to 98 rupees. From 1 rupee 50 paise to 98 rupees. Gentlemen, this is what is the real stock market for you. This is what can be achieved in stock market. Alright. So keeping these things in mind, what we did, we designed a concept. So you can also design a concept, identify some strategy wherein you can trade in options to make such profits. Alright. So what we did, in order to give a solution to this fifth category, we came up with a small simple strategy, and we call this strategy as intra-week long signal cycling method. In order to implement this strategy, once again we have our own enterprise tool. We call it as Dynamic Live. Now using this platform, we have arrived at this method, and we have implemented this strategy on Bank Nifty options from a period of September 2018 to October 2018. During this period, we implemented this strategy in monthly options as well as in weekly options. When we did this, what happened? Let me show you this. This is what happened. In monthly options, we started in Bank Nifty. Alright. So first trade, we got a sell signal, so we had to buy a put option. We got into 27,500 put option, wherein the premium was 34 rupees on 23rd August. On 23rd August at 34 rupees, those days the lot size was 40. Now the lot size has been reduced to 20. So 34 into 40, the investment required was 1360 rupees. So we started with 1360 rupees as investment. Remember, 10,000 rupees is the actual capital that is there in place, but then out of 10,000 we have used only 1360 here. From 34 rupees, what happened? The next day, by 24th August, this premium moved up to 60 rupees. Normally you buy something at 34, in options especially, it moves up to 60 rupees. You bought only one lot, 20 shares or 40 shares in this case. Alright, the profit is around 1000 rupees. You will feel that not a big profit, so let me wait. But then we were very practical when we were implementing this strategy. One thing what we realized here is, we have invested 1360 rupees, and on this capital we are getting 1000 rupees profit. It is close to 70-80% returns on the investment. So what we did, we exited the trade at 60 rupees. Normally the other traders wouldn't have done this. Why? Because I have already shown you a 80 rupees premium went up to 2000 rupees. So you will expect the same thing to happen on every trade. That will not happen every time, isn't it? Be very practical when you are trading. So we bought it at 34, we exited at 60, we made 1000 rupees profit. Out of the profit, we reinvested part of the profit in another put option, different strike price. wherein we bought it at a premium of 15 rupees on the same day, 24th August. Investment was only 600, but by the day, on the expiry date, this premium became 0. So this is a minus, isn't it? Again, we had to continue. We had to buy a put option again because the sell signal was continuing. We did not get exit anywhere, alright. So we had to stay invested in a put option, but then I had to get into a new contract. So we bought a put option again at a 40 rupees premium, and then later after few days we exited at 110. So we continued this process, continued blindly following one strategy, and over a period from 23rd August to 17th October, 1,360 rupees capital grew up to 27,200. Right? Literally close to 1,900% returns on this capital. But then remember, as I told you earlier, every trade will not be a profit trade. There are minus trades also in this process. All the minus trades are marked in red, and there are 3 minus trades. During this entire period, we ended up doing 10 trades, and out of 10 trades, 3 minus trades, 7 profit trades. So the total balance has moved up to 27,000. During the same period, we also tried this concept in weekly options. Why? Because in weekly options there are much bigger opportunities to make faster profits, bigger profits, right? And when we did that, this is what happened. The same 1,360 rupees capital started from 23rd August, continued till 17th October 2018. But in weekly options, what happened compared to monthly? In monthly options, we did only 10 trades, but in weekly options, we ended up doing 15 trades. And in these 15 trades, if you observe closely, every alternate trade is a minus trade, isn't it? Every alternate trade is a minus trade here. But in spite of all these minus trades, 1,360 capital has moved up to 42,200. This is what has been achieved using this concept. Alright. So when I'm talking about all these things, you will be wondering if this can be practically achieved, isn't it? So if you're thinking in these lines, let me show you this person. Right. He is one esteemed member of this dynamic team. His name is Mr. Veerabhadra Swami. He has implemented one such similar strategy in his personal trading. Right? We had to approach this person, we had to request him to share some of his trade details, and he obliged to our request and he shared some of his trade details. Let me show you his trades. These are his trades. He has invested 10,000 rupees and utilized only 1,000 out of it. And from there, he started from 18 September 2018 and continued till 27 September 2018. He shared only few trade details. So this is a period of almost 10 trades, 10 days. In these 10 days, 1,000 rupees capital has moved up to 22,280. And there is a minus trade also in this process. Not only in options, he has tried the same concept in futures also. But in futures, if you want to start trading with a very small capital, you can always get into commodities trading. So he has done that in crude oil mini. He has invested 10,000 capital, utilized 3,000. Why? Because the margin requirement there was around 3,000 those days. So with the 3,000 he has started 4 trades in a row. At the end of 4th trade, the balance has moved up to 15,000 and above. But then more than the balance, more than the profits there, look at those trades. Look at the 4th trade. It is a short position sold on 24th October 2018. At a price of 4,867, right? And when we took the details from him, that day he was holding the short position and the price was around 4,075. Sold at 4,800 ranges till 4,075. Literally 800 points profit on a single trade and still holding. It is a very, difficult trick to come by. It is not so easy. But then only when you do trades like this, that is when you will start seeing bigger profits. But then gentlemen, this is not to prove that he has made so much profits. This is not to assure you that you will also make so much profits. Because if he has made profit, that does not give you any guarantee that you will also make profits. But all these things were shown just to give you the confidence, saying that these kind of profits, these kind of trades can be done in stock market. This is what can be, these kind of things can be achieved in stock market. Got it? In order to make sure that you don't have any further doubts, we also collected his contract notes. These are all his trade details, right? All the trades, whatever I have shown you, these are all the trade details here. But then, if you also want to make such profits like Mr. Veerabhadraswamy, there are many more who are making such profits. If you also want to join this club, you should first master yourself. Now, many people in stock market always try to master stock market. Let me tell you one thing, you cannot master stock market. Nobody can master stock market. Stock market itself is the master. You can always learn from stock market, right? The only thing that you have to achieve here is master yourself. And in order to do that, you must have some serious determination. What determination? Let me explain in detail. You must have the determination to follow one single strategy continuously. Many people, what they do, they follow some strategy, 1 or 2 minus trades. What they do, they stop, jump into another strategy. Like this, people have kept on changing strategy after strategy, software after software, indicator after indicator. But then the search is still continuing, money has not come. They've never made profits, isn't it? Right? Follow one single strategy continuously. And not only that, you should have the determination to start trading even with a very small capital. If you cannot make money on a small capital, you cannot make money even on a big capital, isn't it? And the other big benefit in trading using a small capital here is, when you start with a small capital, it will test your character to the core. You will be tested. Because you must have some serious patience to trade with a small capital and continue for a long run. Not only that, you must have the determination to show some patience, to allow your strategy to work. Let it work. Implement it mechanically. Don't use your brains in between. Use your brains when you are designing the strategy. Once the strategy is designed, implement it mechanically. You must have the determination not to take hasty decision. Just because your capital is small, don't take hasty decision to, some people, what they do, they buy at a given price, the price comes down, what they do, they buy one more, averaging. Just because the capital is small, even a loss there will not hurt you, so you do whatever kind of trading you want to do. No, that is not the procedure. You must have the discipline. Right? You must have the determination to wait to see profits. The earlier case I showed you, one trade where he has sold at 4,800 ranges, and when the price is at 4,075, he is still holding the position. Now that requires some serious determination, isn't it? Same way, you should also have some similar determination to wait to see profits. Remember, you have to maximize your profits and minimize your minus. Alright? Not only this, you must have the determination not to panic when the price moves against your trade. Now, normally, whenever people trade, whenever they buy some stock, they want the price to move in their favor immediately as soon as they buy it. Now, that will not happen every time. Many times, as soon as you buy, the price comes down. So, as soon as the price comes down, people panic. But then, when you're panicking, there must be some other reason because of which you are panicking. So what are they? That could be your investment. Many people don't know what is the right investment to make in stock market. Many people, they come to me and say, you tell me how much should I invest. Now please don't ask such questions, because you should know how much money you are supposed to invest. Now let me give you an example based on which you can decide how to arrive at right investment. Now these days, all of us have smartphones. You have a smartphone with you. Tell me, what was the price of your smartphone? How much did you pay? These days, an average smartphone starts from around 10,000, 15,000, 20. Let's keep 15,000 average price. Let's assume that you lost your mobile. What will you do now? Will you sit and cry? No. You'll go and buy another mobile, isn't it? But then will you go and buy a mobile worth 500 rupees? No. You'll buy a similar mobile, similar configuration, if possible a better configuration. Some people will say that, boss, I was waiting to lose this mobile so that I can buy a new mobile. Isn't it? So you are not ready to compromise. So you are ready to spend another 15,000 or 20,000. Let's assume you lost it again. What will you do now? You'll again go for a similar mobile. Is it? So through this example, what did you understand? What were you supposed to understand? So through this example, you must have understood that 15,000 is that money which is not hurting you. In spite of having lost that mobile once or twice, you are ready to spend 15,000, immaterial of your financial background. So 15,000 is that money which is not hurting you. Then that should be your capital. You should invest that money which does not hurt you. When you invest the right capital, when you invest the right, you come with the right investment, that is when you will not panic. That is when you will be able to follow one strategy continuously for a longer period. Even if the price moves against your trade after entering, you will not panic because you have the right capital in place. And the second most important thing here is, when you have taken an entry, you know where to exit. When you know the exit point in between price fluctuation, why to panic? Relax, sit quiet, let the market move, decide how much profit it wants to give you. Right? You must have the determination not to get carried away. Don't become overconfident. Many times it happens with every trader. The moment you see 4, 5 trades, 6 trades, continuous profit, you will feel as if you know everything now. Right? You will say that now I know everything in stock market. Now I know how to make profits. No, please. Don't get into that mode. Always remain grounded. Don't become overconfident. Your job here is to implement a strategy mechanically. Keep doing that. Don't become overconfident. It always happens when people see profit, then what will they do? They will bring more investment and put all their investment in the next trade. But then for their bad luck, next trade was a trade which gave a small minus. But since your capital was more, the quantity was more, you lost big money. All the profits that you made earlier, 6 trades, 5 trades in a row, all those profits will go off in one single minus trade. Isn't it? You must have the determination not to sit in front of TV channels while you're trading, not to follow tips and calls when you're trading based on some strategy. Alright? You must have the determination not to sit in front of trading terminal, not to watch the price movement continuously throughout the day. As long as you do that, you will not make profits. Because when you keep watching that price fluctuation, the red, blue color change in the monitor, that is more than enough to make you commit mistakes. Alright? You must have the determination not to discuss about your trading with others. Now this is one very big bad habit which people have. When you are trading, normally traders, what do they do? When they are trading, they go discuss with other traders. Hi boss, what did you trade today? What was your trade today? Did you see morning I told you some stock? Did you observe the price? The price moved exactly the way I told you. It has reached the target today, but unfortunately I did not do the trade. I missed the trade. Those guys who are not trading, they can't sit quiet. They'll come and ask you, what did you trade today? Did you lose? Don't worry, even I lost. Come, let's have a cup of tea. Isn't it? So these discussions are useless. What is the point? Who asked you to come and explain about your trades? Why are you interested in others' trades? Mind your business. Let others mind their business. Continue focusing on your trading concept. Follow your concept. Implement it mechanically. As long as you discuss about your trading with others, you will always get distracted. Remember, in our country, there is never a shortage of advice. isn't it? The moment you go talk about trading with someone else, the other person will throw some advice. Alright? So as soon as you listen to all those suggestions and advices, then what will happen? Very easily you will get distracted. Got it? So these are all some of the disciplines that you have to follow to achieve that big success. In order to trade based on this 1K, 10K concept and to make profits, these are all the disciplines that you have to follow. Right? And along with this, if you want to make profits continuously, gain peacefully throughout your life, you must also adopt some of these concepts. You have to transform your thinking. The concepts are, you should do money management. You should know what is money management. Money management does not mean placing a stop loss and a target. No. Money management means you have to do some things, you have to follow some discipline in order to secure your capital first. Alright? Not only money management, you should also know how to do mind management. When you are following some strategy and implementing it practically, you will come across a lot of disturbances being bombarded at you. When that is the case, you should know how to remain focused, how to follow your concept and delete all these disturbances. Not only mind management, you should also know how to do method management. Following a simple, single concept consistently for a long duration is not an easy job. Alright? In order to do that, you should know how to do that. There must be a plan for that. Right? And you should also know how to do trading exercise. We all do physical exercise for what? To keep ourselves fit. So the same way, to keep yourself fit in stock market and trading, to always make profits in stock market, you should also do trading exercise. Whatever concept that you are following, whatever method that you are following, whenever you get some time, leisure time, try to practice that method. The more and more you practice, as long as you practice again and again and again, what will happen? You will grow in confidence. When you grow in confidence, then what will happen? The profits, the money will flow automatically. Not only that, you should also know how to do next trading action plan. As I told you earlier, to trade tomorrow, you must prepare yourself today. Without preparation, if you go sit there in front of trading terminal tomorrow, then what will happen? You will end up losing money. That is what is called as gambling. Those people who are gambling in stock market, they don't come with any preparation, isn't it? But all those professional traders who are making money in stock market, they have a plan in place. They prepare a day before, a week before, a month before. That's why they are called as professionals, because they always make profits. Got it? Not only that, you should also learn how to add and remove. 1,000 rupees capital will not move to 10,000. A 10,000 capital will not move to a lakh. A lakh rupees capital will not move to 10 lakhs. A 10 lakhs will not move to a crore until you learn when to increase quantity, when to reduce quantity. That's what is called as add and remove. There must be a plan. When you have a plan in place in the beginning itself, then you will be able to execute it during the process. Got it? Not only that, you should also know how to do portfolio diversification. When your capital is increasing, when your capital is growing, when you are sitting on a huge investment, you cannot invest all the money in a single stock. Will you be able to do that? Right? So in order to deal with this big investment, you should be able to diversify this capital. Where will you diversify? Which stocks? Which segment? Which commodity? Which currency? How much? This is one very important concept. Alright? Now you should also have a trading routine planner. What is trading routine planner? Every day you should know before the market opens, what are your trades, what are your existing position in hand, what position you have, how much is your capital in hand, next trade are you supposed to increase quantity or reduce quantity. Complete planning before the trade starts. You should also know how to take payouts. Most of the traders in stock market know only pay-in. Nobody has done payouts, isn't it? But then when you are making profits, you should also have a payout planner. Monthly, if you have to take a payout, when to take, how much to take, quarterly, yearly, there should be a plan in place. So these are all the additional concepts When you have these things in place, you will keep gaining money peacefully throughout your life till your retirement or beyond. Got it? So, in order to achieve all these things, gentlemen, mindset is the critical part. So, success in stock market is not only about the knowledge, the right knowledge, it is also about the right mindset. So, in order to keep your mindset in the right shape, let me share one big secret with you today. And I would like to share the secret as a gift with all of you. What is this? Now, why are we here in stock market today? Why do we work from morning till evening? We do this to earn money, isn't it? So, everyone across the globe today is working from morning till night to earn the same money. We people have come here to stock market to earn the same money. But then everyone is putting their hard work. Only few people are able to succeed. Majority are not able to succeed. Why? Have you ever given it a thought? Why majority of people are not able to succeed? When you start thinking in these lines, you will understand the major reason why majority of people are not able to succeed here is because they don't respect money. When you don't respect money, then what will happen? Money will not come to you. You will keep running behind that money throughout your life, but money will never come to you. But the day you start respecting money, then you don't have to run behind money. Gentlemen, money will come searching you. Money will flow in your life. So today, I would like to share the secret as a gift with all of you. What is the secret? How to attract money in your life. Alright? Now, how to do that? Let me show you one simple example here. Now, this is money, this is currency, this is money. We all deal with money day to day. We buy, sell, exchange money. Right? During this process, have you observed, majority of people have a negative attachment with this money. What is this negative attachment? Whenever they give money, whenever you give money to someone, do you experience pain? Isn't it? Nobody likes giving money. But when it comes to taking money, everyone will be happy. But then giving money, nobody likes. So when you are giving money, when you experience this pain is a negative thought. And with this negative thought, when you give money to someone, what is happening? This negative energy is getting transferred from you to the other guy who is taking money from you. And after taking money from you, he is not seeing anything positive, he is seeing more trouble. Right? And most of them, when they give money, how do they give? They fold it like this and they give. Some people fold more. Some people hold it like this and they give. So what is this? Boss, you are struggling day and night to earn this money, and after you earn this money, is this the way you respect this? No, this is not the way. If you want to attract money in your life, you have to change. You have to start respecting this money. Now, how to respect this? Let me show you the secret. Whenever you give money to someone, first open this currency note properly. Hold it with all your 5 fingers like this. And before you give the money to the other guy, look at it once. Don't throw it on the table. Look at it once. Give it a tap behind and say, "Hi, I love you. Come back to me in multifolds. I love you. Come back to me in multifolds. You are going as 10 rupees. You come back to me as 10 lakhs. Say this and then give the money. And when you're giving the money to the other guy, remember one more thing, wish the other guy all the very best. Tell him that take this money, you will also get it in multifolds in your life. Wish him all the very best and then give the money. First time when I heard all these things, I started laughing. But the gentleman who taught me this, he said, remember, earning money in life is a different story. Earning big money in life is altogether a different story. You decide which part of the story you want to be. I said, boss, I want to earn big money. If that is the case, he said, start respecting money. Until you learn respecting money, you cannot earn big money. I said, fine, I'll do that. And he said, keep doing this until this becomes a habit. So I kept on doing this. Over a period after doing this, these days this has become a habit. Now, whenever I give money to someone, I hold it with all my 5 fingers automatically. I take a pause and then give the money to the other guy. But over a period, I also realized there is a scientific reason behind doing this. You know what is that? Every day when you keep saying this, I love you, come back to me in multifolds, I love you, come back to me in multifolds. When you keep saying this over a period of time, this sentence gets recorded in your subconscious mind. The day it gets recorded in your subconscious mind, your mind starts believing that the money that is going out will definitely come back in multifolds. Gentlemen, when the change happens in the belief system, you know what will happen next? This money will really come back to you in multifolds. Do you all believe in God? What is God? God is nothing but the nature. And the nature has a law. You know what is the law? The law says, as long as you think positive, you will attract all the positive things in this world. But the day you start thinking negative, you will attract only negative things in this world. So ladies and gentlemen, there is one very simple secret to attract money in your life. All that you have to do here is implement this in your day-to-day life. The day it becomes a habit over a period of time, you will start seeing results. Money will start flowing in your life. Not only when you are giving a currency, even if you are giving a check, even if you are doing an online transfer, all that you have to do here is, before you transfer, say this word, I love you, come back to me in multifolds, and then do the transfer. Not only when you are transferring money, even when you are trading, do this and then execute the trade. So gentlemen, these are all the secrets that makes a complete successful trader in stock market. Today, you can start searching in these lines, start searching, do research, when to buy, when to sell, in all those different situations. Right? Which category do you belong? Based on that category, try to identify one simple strategy which you will be able to implement it mechanically. If you already have a strategy in place, then very good. But all that you have to do, remember, follow it continuously. If you don't have any strategy in place, then you don't have to worry. You can always come back to us. This is what we do. We train people on how to trade in stock markets. We train people on how to make only profits in stock markets, and that too while you sleep. Alright? So if you want more details about this, about our training program, after this session you can watch those videos related to that and you'll get the complete details there. But then, till now, you have come across all these concepts. Tell me, do you really believe it is possible to regain all your lost money in stock market? Yes or no? Yes? If you ask me the same question, let me tell you, the truth here is, you cannot regain your lost money in stock market. It is not possible to regain your lost money in stock market. This is the reality. I am sorry to have wasted all your time, but this is the truth. It is not possible to regain your lost money in stock market. You know why? Because when you already have this in your mind saying that I have to regain my lost money, I have to regain my lost money, then what will happen? The moment you come next time with some capital, you already have so much pressure on your mind saying that you have to regain. And when you sit with that pressure, then what will happen? You will again go back to the same age-old ways, and you will again start committing mistakes after mistakes, and you will again lose money, and it is not possible to regain your money. There is nothing called as regaining money in stock market. There is only one reality, and you know what is that reality? There is only gain. You can only gain from trading. You can only gain money. So forget all your past. Think that you are newborn. Think that this is your fresh investment. Think that you are very new to stock market now. With this approach, get into trading. Start making profits. When you start making profits, automatically all the other issues around will get sorted out. So gentlemen, this is all about this program. I thank all of you to have joined this program. I congratulate you to have attended this program. I congratulate you to have taken the first step towards continuous success throughout your life in stock market. Thank you.